Hello everybody, and today I am coming to you with my top 10 games of 2014. There were a lot of good games this year, there were a lot of bad games. Luckily I got to play more of the good games, and that's why I won't be having a worst of the year list, because I didn't bother playing any bad games. So without further ado, oh wait, before we do anything else, I want to get through some honorable mentions first. So a few we have are Destiny. It was a good first-person shooter by Bungie that came out, but it was way too overhyped, and it ended up not being the best game of the year for me because of that. And another one was that kind of suffered the same fate was Watch Dogs. And two more I have are The Wolf Among Us, the first season, and the second season of The Walking Dead. And I think that's it. So, yep. Okay, so let's get on to the list. So at number 10 on my list was not my most enjoyable game of the year, but it made the top 10, and it's been a fun game, but I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good, but for the most part, it is just a clone of Far Cry 3 almost exactly, but not in the same exact way. But that first game, of course, as you probably guessed, is Far Cry 4. I mean, this game was a pretty fun game, but the problem with it was the fact that there wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was in control of anything at any time, because it seemed, because there's all this whole plot the whole time was you gotta take you gotta kill pagan men and take back the country, and it's like, oh, I don't want to though. It's kind of, I mean, it kind of, you just kind of felt like it wasn't accomplishing anything by going and doing this, really. And in the end, Far Cry 4 was a good game. It just didn't hold up to what my expectations were, but it is number 10 on my list. Number 9 is a digital game, that's why I can't actually hold it up in front of the camera. But this game was actually a really fun game. I got it in July, I think is when it came out. And it was right before, like, July. I can't remember the dates now, but this game was Valiant Hearts The Great War. This game, oh my gosh. You guys have to play this game because, I mean, it isn't like the best game when it comes to gameplay wise itself, but what you want to play this game for is the story and the characters and the history it actually teaches you about World War One in the game itself. And that is why, and Valiant Hearts is just a great game. It's probably really cheap on PlayStation 4 store and probably the Wii U store and whatnot right now. And you guys should definitely pick it up. It's my favorite Ubisoft game of the year. Isn't that funny how that works? Anyway, Valiant Hearts, great game. If you don't like the really simple puzzle solving, like feels kind of like a item gathering thing type of gameplay, then you probably won't like the gameplay, and you probably don't really want to play this game. But if you like a good story and whatnot, then yeah, you probably would want to play this game. And guys, that is why Valiant Hearts is number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list was one that got really swept under the rug, I feel like. And it came out in May, I think, and it was a really fun game for me. No, it came out in March. Sorry. It was a really fun game for me, and that game, guys, is Kirby Triple Deluxe. I had such a fun time playing this, especially like when you got to like parts where you would eat the fruit and then you could like ultra suck like everything into your mouth, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. It was a really fun game, and you guys definitely need to check this out. You need to play this game. It was one of my favorite games of the year. And it's Kirby. I mean, why wouldn't you play it? I feel like it was just kind of came out and no one even thought about it. No one even heard of it. Kind of was just like, whatever, Kirby, whatever. And that kind of sucked a bit, but take what you can get. And this game is definitely one of my favorite games of the year, and that is why it is number 8 on my list. Now, this is a game I picked up not knowing if I would enjoy it a bunch, and I picked up mostly because of the fact that if you bought it, you got a free like game out of like 4 different games you could choose, and that game is Mario Kart 8. And oh my gosh, I was not expecting this to be as good as it was, because I really at first just bought it for that one reason. I got Pikmin 3, by the way, which is a very good game. Didn't come out this year, so I couldn't put it on this list, but it was a really good game. I haven't played all the way through it yet, but so far it's been a really fun game. But Mario Kart 8 itself is a really fun game. I actually enjoy playing with other people. I mean, you gotta play with other people if you want to have any fun. Like, you gotta play online or whatnot. And really, that's the biggest thing with this game. And if you don't play online, then or play with friends somewhere, then it's not gonna be any fun. But yeah, Mario Kart 8 is one of my favorite games of the year. It just had so much. It's the same thing, of course, like every other Mario Kart, but it redoes it in like such a way in which you don't even care, and it just feels so new and so fresh. And that, guys, is why Mario Kart 8 is number 7 on my list. This is another game I haven't seen a lot of people talking about, putting on their games of the year list, and it's probably because a bunch of other great games have come out. But, and just disclaimer, I should have disclaimed this in the beginning of the video. All these games I'm reviewing are ones I've played, and if you see game on here that you liked and then I haven't, that you've played and you don't see it on the list, then I didn't play it, and you should respect my opinion. So, but if you do respect your own opinion more than mine, then you can put that list down in the comments below. But next up on my list at number 6 is The Evil Within. This game, I bought it in October. I think I bought it like a week after it come out, and oh my gosh, I remember playing through the first part of this, and I was genuinely frightened. I had like no idea what I was doing. I was so scared. This is such a fun game, and yeah, I hate that people are calling it, oh, it's just Resident Evil 4 again, and it's just like, okay, it's completely different actually, and even if it does take a lot of stuff from Resident Evil 4, what's the problem with that? Is there a big problem with that? Oh, did you want another Resident Evil 6 on your hands, guys, or Resident Evil 5? I mean, really, did you want any of those? No, you didn't. So why are you complaining? Oh, wait. Yeah, because you just think that any horror game that comes out now, if it's not something where you're hiding and running from people and you're defenseless, it's not true horror. So, whatever, guys. I mean, it just makes me mad when people say stuff like that. But this game has just been this is definitely the scariest game I played all year. I mean, Shinji Mikami is just one of the best survival horror game makers out there. I mean, this game scared the shocks off of me. And I remember there's parts in it, like, where you're just walking and there's a dead body, and all of a sudden, Demon Spider Lady comes out of nowhere and starts chasing down. And I think that was probably one of the scariest parts in the game for me, because it was so unexpected. I'm just walking, thinking it's gonna be normal, like, just go and kill more, whatever they are. They're not zombies, I know that. They're just infected people. But it just, you see that you just think it's gonna be normal, and then BAM! Comes out of nowhere, and it's like, oh my gosh! But anyway, guys, Evil Within, really good game. You should definitely get it. And this is why this game is my number 6, in my number 6 spot. Next up is another game I've been seeing no one has been paying attention to. I have no idea why. I don't even know how this game got not even looked at, really. And I bought this game like day one it came out, and I cannot praise enough how good Infamous Second Son is. Holy crap, this game, guys. I mean, if Sony and if they can make the PS4 only games look as good as this did, oh my gosh, we're in for a ride for the PS4. I mean, if you can make all their PS4 exclusives look like this, Sony, then oh my gosh, you have just earned like the best gaming console ever, not ever, of the 8th generation. Right now the Wii U's at that point because, I mean, with those exclusives, Sony, you gotta get more of those out. Come on, let's go. But it doesn't matter right now because I got this, and this game is such an amazing game. I loved having all the different powers, feeling like a superhero in the city of Seattle, and just taking down bad guys, doing different moves, and it's just such a fun game. And the storyline's not half bad. I mean, if you can get over kind of how ridiculous it is at times, but for the most part, Infamous Second Son is a really good game. I've not played First Light yet, but I will sometime eventually. But if you guys ever see this game on clearance or discounted or anything like that, pick it up because you will not regret buying it for your PS4. And guys, that is why Infamous Second Son is number 5 on my list. Next up on the list, it didn't get higher mostly because so far I haven't really had that much of a chance to play with friends, and I haven't really explored all the gameplay aspects of it yet. But that game, guys, is Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. Holy crap, this game is awesome. I mean, do you really need me to explain anything to you? Watch my review. Is number 4. Next up, guys, is another digital download game, and yeah, of course I can't show it to you. I could probably grab my portable device I have it on and show it to you, but right now I can't do that. So I will just tell you what it is. Number 3 on my spot is Shovel Knight, and this game came out of like the blue to me. I literally didn't know anything about it. I didn't know it was a thing on Kickstarter. I didn't know there was hype around it. I just kind of like heard about it one day, and I can't remember if I heard from my friend or not. Like, hey, get Shovel Knight. I'm like, what's Shovel Knight? I thought it sounded kind of ridiculous. Then I saw Bro Jared made a review of it, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of good. So eventually I bought it for the Wii U, and I was not disappointed. And this game is just such an amazing game. It has all the retro stuff, like all the retro. It does like all the retro 8-bit, 16-bit stuff very well, and it makes it look old while being fun at the same time. And this is such a fun game. This is such one of my favorite games of the year. It's so good. I bought it twice. I bought it for my Wii U, and then I was like, I want to play this portable, so I bought it for my 3DS also. So this game is just such an awesome game, guys. You should definitely pick it up when you have the chance. It's only 15 bucks. I mean, you can spare $15 for one of the best games of the year, can't you? Better than $60 for Assassin's Creed Unity. So, anyway, guys, I mean, if you I mean, it's an amazing game. I love the music. I love the characters. I love that you're going on a quest to find your partner. You're not going to save a princess. You're going to save your partner because that's what. And the ending is just like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing game. I mean, the story is kind of weird, but at the same time, you can't help but love it. And that's why, guys, Shovel Knight is number 3 on my list. You guys probably haven't guessed what my number 1 is yet, but you can probably guess what is going to be up the highest on the list is Bayonetta 2. And so far, I've played through a good majority of the game, and oh my gosh, I'm holy crap, this game is amazing. I mean, if you played the first Bayonetta, this is like 10 times better than that one, because I played the first Bayonetta before I played Bayonetta 2. I wanted to play it in chronological order. As much as I wanted to just whip out Bayonetta 2 right away, I didn't feel like I should do that. So in the end, I ended up playing that one first, and oh my gosh, this game makes so many improvements on the first one. Like so many, it runs at 60 frames per second, 1080p, and it just looks amazing. It plays amazing. The characters are funny. The story doesn't matter, but that's fine because the action is just ridiculous. The back pieces, the set drops, like all the stuff that's happening in the backgrounds while you're fighting a boss is just ridiculous, and how fast the bosses are. You're just like, oh my gosh, my eyes can barely follow what is going on. And it's just such a fun game, guys. And that, guys, is why Bayonetta 2 is number 2 on my list. So, guys, I'm going to get really serious now because number 1 is a game I got. It went on sale about September, I think, or so. I got it during, like, the Labor Day weekend sale. I got this game and I played it. Took me a day or so. I should have played it in one sitting because I just didn't have a lot of time to play it at times. But guys, this game was just an amazing game because number one on my spot goes to Transistor. It is probably one of the best games of all time, not just of 2014. It's the best game of 2014. But this game, I mean, Supergiant Games. I never played. I didn't get the chance to play Braid. I think that's what it was called. Can't remember now. But was that Braid or is I can't remember. Sorry guys if I can't remember what the name of the game was called. But I mean, this game is it's such an amazing game. I never got to play the one that came before this, but I mean, Supergiant Games is probably one of the best developers ever because the whole entire the graphics, like what the neon looks like and what it all looks like, it blends together perfectly and it makes it look like such a good game. And the game looks amazing. It doesn't even need to have like super impressive graphics, but it does, and it still is just amazing for that. I mean, the characters are all interesting. The game trusts you to be smart about how you interpret the story because really the story is up to you to find out really what's happening because it doesn't clearly point out in a cutscene or anything because there are no cutscenes in this game, not really at least. It doesn't clearly point out this is what's happening because this happened. No, it doesn't do that. It gives you a vague form. It vaguely tells you about stuff that has been happening around the character, the main character Red, and the sword that she carries called Transistor. And the game is, and it's cool because they are able to, you have like really cool conversation with like Red and the Transistor, even though she can't talk. She's a silent protagonist most of the way through. There are different times in which you can get to little things. I can't remember what they're called now. But and she'll like type, and she'll to talk to the Transistor. She'll like type out what she wants to say, and stuff. And he's like, yeah, yeah, and he'll like answer her and stuff. And yeah, this is just an amazing game, guys. It has some really interesting gameplay. You can either play it in real time and like do different combos and stuff with the moves you get and whatnot, or you can do like a kind of like I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like you can pause and like plan out a strategy and whatnot for how you want to go about the battle, and then you can set it into motion. And it's a really interesting game mechanic because it gives you an option on how to play the game, and that's pretty cool. The story is amazing because I love how it leaves up to interpretation for like really what happened in this game as a whole. And I love that they did that, and I love the characters, and I like that they have like art in their game that looks exactly like the concept art for the game that came for before it came out. I didn't really know much about Transistor. I remember seeing like a little like trailer type thing in a GameStop, and I'm like, this actually looks like a good game. And then it came out, and I'm like, I don't have $20 though. And then when it got reduced on, it got put on sale. Like Transistor came out in May, but I didn't get it till September. And yeah, that was kind of my fault. I should have really saved up my money to get it before this because it was worth buying at full price. Because even though it's a really short game, it's totally worth it. And I love the ending to the game. Some people may hate it, but Transistor, guys, is definitely one of my favorite. It's definitely my favorite game of 2014. It is one of my favorite games of all time. And guys, that is why it is number one on my list. Guys, I just want to thank you for watching. Thank you for waiting while I get this list up because, oh my gosh, I am just so lazy and I haven't gotten this list up. Uh, and it's just been taking me forever. It's already the new year, so guys, I just want to thank you again for watching, and I want to thank you for a great year of 2014. And I should have my worst movies of the 2014 up. If I don't end up doing that, then that's just what happened, and I can't do anything about it. But anyway, guys, I just want to thank you again for watching, and I am out.